Hi witches, blessed be. This is WhiteRaven, and today I want to talk to you about something that had created a little bit of controversy in my page, Witch's Lair. This is in regards to the witch's pyramid. It's been very important that all witches, regardless of what kind of spiritual path you follow, will keep in mind, and we should all be aware of, and we at least should know about witch's pyramid. To know, to dare, to will, and to keep silent. What does that mean? What does it stand for? To know. When you become a witch, you have to at least make the commitment to yourself, at least to yourself. I mean, you have to make the commitment to learn as much as you can about the path that you're going to follow, about the practice that you're going to be performing. If you're going to be a witch and you're going to be doing some magic and you're going to be practicing witchcraft, there's some things that you have to commit to in order to be a successful witch. We cannot just be performing magic without knowing, without having the knowledge of what it is to be a witch and what it is that we are doing. We have to learn about different spirits or gods, however you want to call them. You have to learn about the moon. You have to learn about planets, hours, times, days, plants, herbs, oils, candles, incense. There's so many things that go behind just the simple fact of you being called a witch. That it is the to know part. To dare is that you are going to push your fears to the side and you are going to practice what it is that you've been learning, and you're not going to be afraid of what you do. Remember that one of the things that you have to put in practice when you're doing magic is your intentions. They have to be strong. They have to be very focused. You have to decree what you want, and you have to send magic out. So you have to put your fears out, your fears to the side. There's not going to be no demons coming out of the bed, under your bed. There's not going to be no evil, dark creatures coming out of the closet, unless, of course, you start dealing with that stuff. In which case, I suggest that the to know part, you have it very, very, very clear. To will, how much are you planning to sacrifice for this path that you're going to be following? You have to meditate. You have to make efforts to live by example. We get what we put in. So how much are you willing to put in order for you to get in? So that's the part when it comes to will. You have to make sure that if you are indeed going to practice witchcraft, there's some other things that you have to offer and you have to sacrifice too. All right. And the last part, and this is the part that most people is having trouble with. I really don't understand why. To me, this came so natural. Is the part of keeping silent. This was the part that gave me a little bit of a hard time in my page. Some witches got offended with me since they thought that what I meant was that witches should not talk about what it is to be a witch. In any way, shape, or form, that's what to keep silence means. To keep silent means that you need to keep your magic to yourself. You're not going to be performing magic, and you're not going to be making spells and then going to your best friends and tell them exactly what you did. If you talk about your magic, there's going to be a lot of people out there that, with their bad intentions, with envy and whatnot, may break your magic, even slow it down. Nobody needs to know your business. Your spells are yours. And it's a little bit frustrating when I see witches, and I completely find this so unethical. You see witches in Facebook posting, "Oh, I'm going to make a spell on you because you're talking about me." Hello, no, you don't do that. If you are a real witch, that's not how you work, because you know the consequences that this action could bring about. Having the first consequence being your spell being completely fucked up, broken, maybe not successful, maybe very slow, maybe weak. Do not talk your magic. You do not voice what you do. Perfectly fine for you to tell people what it is that a witch is. You can share the history of what a witch is, what pagan is, what a Wiccan is. Whatever path that you want to talk about, that's perfectly fine. However, you do not talk about your magic. Another thing that you're never going to talk about is which ones of your friends are witches. To be a witch is a very private matter. Personally, a lot of people that I know that I'm a witch. It's really hard when you have a pentacle in your neck 24/7. For people not to know that you're a witch. When you have a pentacle in your rings, when you love witches and you have witches everywhere in your house, it's very difficult for people not to get that you're a witch. So I'm very open about it. However, I'm not going to tell my friends that are not witches that my other friend is also a witch. That's not for me to do, and that's not for me to say. So the part that says to keep silent refers to you do not talk about your witch friends with anybody, and you do not talk about your magic with anybody. By all means, you can talk about what it is, witchcraft. Remember, and there's something that most of us know, do not share witchcraft with anybody that's going to betray it. A lot of people is not ready to listen to what we have to say. And a lot of people ask you just because they're curious, because they're just curious. Some people will hold on to the things that you tell them and they will twist it and they will talk bad about our craft. And some other people will actually learn. So be very careful. So, to know, to dare, to will, and to keep silent. That's the pyramid of the witch. Anybody that practices witchcraft, religious witchcraft or non-religious witchcraft, need to at least know that the pyramid witch exists. And please don't get offended about the part that says to keep silent. Understand what it's trying to tell you and share it with other witches, okay? It's always awesome talking to you, witches. This is WhiteRaven. Blessed be.